Used to go back into this McGimsey Boy Scout camp as a child, as a youngster, not as a child. Got back, we had a hole right here we dug for our dog, Bandit. Let's say it's somewhere right in here. We went back there so many times that they, probably somewhere right in there, that they built, they filled it in with concrete to prevent us from going back in the Gimsey, into this Boy Scout camp right here. There it is. How many bags is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 bags of leaves. That's just part of the backyard. Got lots to do. Because of the constant flooding that occurred when it rained, they had to, these homes starting at that, right there, these homes that were here, I'd say there's about 3 or 4 more houses that were down here, and they just knocked them all out. They gave them money for their houses, and they turned this into a nice little park. And this over here, all that brush that you see right here, this was totally clear when I was a kid. You could see way into the it's called the McGimsey Boy Scout camp. And if you can see my car right there at the edge, that's my house. That's where our house was, or house is still. My mom lives there. But as far as I can see right here were houses all along here, but it became such a flood zone that they just, you know, like I said, they gave the people that lived here money for their houses, and they turned it into a park. And I'm going down to the railroad tracks because I used to take this trail a lot as a kid and play down here all the time with all my buddies. This is a good place to grow up. I enjoyed it tremendously. And like I said, right here, it's too bad that they didn't clear this land, because it was neat to look back there and see all the deer. But obviously, you know, they just couldn't take care of it like that. Here's a deer up here as I speak. This camera doesn't have a telephoto on it, it's just my camera phone. But as you can see, there's a deer right there, just kind of moseying off. They're so tame here that as I come upon them, you'll see that they won't even flinch because they're used to getting fed by people. Watch. There they are. Can you see them through there? That's the sound of a buck. Just trying to see what they do. They didn't flinch. Like I said, man, they're used to people feeding them. So, came down here many a times to the railroad tracks. Yes, sir. Down that way was neat. When I was like about 10 or so, or younger, there was a place called Knights of Columbus, and it was a country club. you go down about, I don't know, half a mile, and then to the right, we'd go the back way into this country club, and it had tennis courts, a big old swimming pool. I mean, it was, you know, it was a full-fledged country club, and that was a lot of fun. And then I'd always try to see if I could hit this sign over here. See if I can do it now. Let me get a little closer here. Pretty good throw. Bingo, Ringo. So yeah, we'd come down here and play on these tracks. We'd get in here like this. That bounce is definitely not what it used to be. That's weird. There you go. So yeah, so like I said, we'd come down here and play on the tracks. And then my best buddy lived in a neighborhood over here called Kings Grant. And we would, I would always go in here and take the back road to his house, because otherwise we'd have to drive all the way around. If you look all the way down there, that road went about a mile to my left, and then you had to take another left, and then you had to come another 2-3 miles down to this point and take another left just to get into this neighborhood. But we had a great cut through, and it's coming up right here. If I can remember where it was. Let's see. Let me get my bearings here. There's the old, right in there was my, the street, the actual street that I lived on. The other side of that was just the house backing up into the McGimsey Boy Scout camp. So, I think I'm going a little too far now. Yeah, I'm crossing over too far. Let me go back. Hey man, this is where I grew up, and this is the railroad tracks that I used to come down here and play with all my friends. And like I said earlier, there was a cut through to get to the other side of my best bud, Harris Baden, that lived in Kings Grant. Well, if you had to, you'd have to go all the way down. You know, if you drove your car, you'd have to go all the way down there, about a mile up, and then take another left, another 2 miles down, and then take another left into Kings Grant to get to. Well, his house was so close to me that, you know, we found a way to cut through, and this is the cut through right here. You never forget an old trail, man. A trail they just never die, man. You know, people new kids find the trails that you had as a kid. I'm saying these trails, this trail right here is 30, 40 years old. Seriously. So we'd go in here, man. It was cool back here. Look at this. Man, you had all this natural beauty. And I spent many a day down here, man. It was cool when it rained a lot too. There would actually be fish in this creek, because the McGimsey Boy Scout camp, which was over there, had a lake, and so when that thing overflowed from rain, it would, you know, obviously all the fish would come out of it, and they would just flow down into these creeks. And so it was cool catching all these fish down here. So somewhere in here, my friend Harris Baden, see, that's Kings Grant right there. All those houses right there, backing into there are. And so somehow I forgot how I got there, but I'd come up here, And back then it was more obvious, I guess, you know, I don't know, somebody might cut through. Something like that. You see that fence right there? That's probably what I did right there. I bet I came up to that house right there and just kind of snuck in to the back way. So I'd come up and mosey up to here, you know, kind of sneak up here and, oh, check this out. Check this old house out. Wow. Oh, this is so cool. Look at this. God, it looks vacant, doesn't it? Look at this property. I'm telling you, man. And look at that old second house right there. Amazing. Anyway, it was always, you know, I mean, nothing's changed with it. I wish I could tell a photo up to it, but that looks like a badass house inside, doesn't it? Look at these oak trees, man. Boy, if they could talk, huh? Jesus, criminy. Yeah, it's a pretty house. It was always fun to come down here and explore. How's that for the proper word? I thought that they had some kind of like a pond. It was kind of a rock pond. And I don't know if they have that anymore, but I'm going to look real quick just out of my curiosity. I don't know. They just had a little bridge right there, huh? Maybe. I swear to God they did. Anyway, what do you think? That is too cool. Check out this view right here. It has its own beauty, you know, even though it's a dead creek. I just love this kind of nature. You know, it's so, what do you call it? Pristine. It's like, you know, if I was in a coma and I woke up 30 years later, I wouldn't even know the difference that anything happened here. Because nothing happens here, basically. Ah, did you see that hawk coming here? Check that dude out. I don't know if you saw that. I got that on film, but this camera, I can't tell a photo. It's just it's a phone camera, so I don't have any telephoto ability. But check it out, dude. Yeah, I smell a skunk. I smell a skunk. Where'd he go? Check it out. Shoot. Hold on. Check it out. Make something happen. Nothing. So check out all this stuff here, man. They had to put a piping in here for some reason. I guess it flooded too much, so they had to modify nature a little bit, unfortunately. I hate to see that, but you know, it's for the good of the surrounding area. So you can imagine how I loved just being the kid and coming down here and exploring. It was great. Look at this trees and stuff. It just blows my mind. I'm going to head down and see if I can find the Knights of Columbus entry that I remember as a kid. I kind of think I see it right here. It's kind of weird. I remember actually coming down here and on a bike, and these two kids had a BB gun, and I thought, you know, it's like, oh my God, they're like, and they were shooting at something, and then I drove by, and then he was pointing at me and said, I'm too young to die. I'm too young to die, man, don't shoot me. I swear to God, I thought my life was over at 13 years old. And I think he did actually take a shot at me. I don't remember, dude, but I thought my life was over, brother. I sure did. Anyway, you know, like I said much earlier, there was a place where you could, and that looks like abandoned, let's take a look. An abandoned old you know, what, buildings and stuff like that. I don't think they ever maybe did anything with this, but we'd walk down here and come in some entry down here. Let's take a look. That looks like it. I swear to God, it has the looks of old, like a swimming pool. This thing was humongous, you know, and just like everything in life, generally, it fades or goes away. I'm going to go up a little bit further just to see if I can maybe see. Here we go. Deer on the railroad tracks. This is going to be a far shot, but you can see right there that dude going across. This trail was open and there's no fence, so I'm going to go in and check and see where the whole Knights of Columbus Country Club was. I'm just determined, man. It's a part of my childhood history. What is this? Look at this. It's beautiful. Okay, kind of got a idea where I'm at. I know that the Knights of Columbus on the other side of Callahan, and this kind of gives me a bearing. These utility poles right here. It was like on the same line as this. So I don't know if it's to my right or to my left, because there's the houses right there. That's not what you call it anymore. Kings Grant. Kings Grant is over there to the right. This became another neighborhood, and this neighborhood was where the Knights of Columbus Country Club was. So I think I've actually gone too far. I'm going to go back and check and see, or maybe go down just a tad bit more, and if that doesn't get me anywhere, then I'll go back this way and look. So again, I think those remnants of old buildings over there is where Columbus Country Club was. KOC, I remember. I'm going to say that no, this is way too far from where it was. If you were to take this tracks all the way through, this would hit Vance Jackson. Vance Jackson is over here, runs parallel to this road, and then it cuts over to Jackson Keller, okay? And this railroad track actually will intersect with Jackson Keller, okay? So that would be up there, and then you'd be close to 410 right there. So definitely I've gone too far. I feel like where I was pointing was probably Knights of Columbus Country Club. So that's cool. I was able to, you know, after all these years, I'm going to say 30, 40 years. No, not 40 years, obviously, because it'd been 8. I wasn't that young, I don't think. Maybe I was, but I'm going to say at least 30 years that I've tried to go back in time to see where this place was.